It's no secret that gacha games are becoming more and more popular. And it's not even really about the games themselves, it's about the model that it's found its way into a lot of video games nowadays. However, while the implications of the model are concerning in their own right, there's something else I want to focus on today. It's something that we've been seeing a lot of recently, and it's not really surprising that I would focus on it at all. And that big reveal is... So you can debate whether gacha games are live service or not, but the point is that these are very similar things. If you've been keeping up with gaming media in the past few months, you may have seen a lot of these server-based games shutting down. What that means is that these games become unplayable regardless of how much time, effort, money, and passion went into them. I know a lot of people view these free-to-play games as cash grabs due to their heavy reliance on microtransactions, but let's try to put that to the side a bit, please. It's not the point of this video. When a live service game isn't doing numbers anymore, the time eventually comes for its demise. However, unlike full experiences that contain offline modes and don't require internet connections, even if the online servers go offline, when these games are unplugged, it means you can't play them anymore at all. We've been seeing it happen a lot more recently, and it's not surprising that people are getting tired of these games because of that. Even with titles that haven't come out yet, you can see people's general discontent with them as they seem like another standard formula live service video game.
This involves you too.
Gacha games are built the same way. They're games that run on a server and have content added to them as time marches on. Some of these are higher effort than others, but we've been seeing this model being brought into existing IPs all the time. Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Mario Kart, Persona, it doesn't end because there is a chance of making good money off of these kinds of games. However, a lot of new IPs are also established to create gacha games of them. And this heavily relies on marketing and appealing to the right demographics in order to keep the game floating. And sometimes it works out really well, but other times it doesn't. This even happens with existing IPs, and it's no surprise either. Some companies heavily estimate the popularity and success of their IP. Now I've sat here and spat some rather obvious statements, so I don't know if it'd be too difficult to figure out what I'm going for here, but I guess the question is, that I should be addressing, what is my worry of the big gacha obsession, if not the monetization model?
Being at the peak may mean you are mere moments from your downfall.
To reiterate, I'm not really concerned about the monetization model of these games. To me, it's always been a kind of, if I don't want to spend the money, I won't spend it thing. I'm much more concerned about the EOS, or end of service. With good reason. The end of service means terminating the game fully and in finality. It means no one can play the game anymore because the servers are offline. That's not just playing, that means the money people have spent on it is gone. The game is unplayable, leaving stories gone and potentially unfinished. The time and passion people put into creating this game is also gone for good, never to return. That's my biggest worry about gachas. Live service games are on a crash right now, not just because people are tired of them, but because there's no room to keep getting invested in them. Time is finite, and asking people to constantly come back to your game on a daily basis can turn the game into a chore. You have to realize that making a live service game means you're trying to pull people away from an existing game and into your own. Gachas especially have this issue because they keep tossing dailies into the game to keep the player engaged and keep them coming back over and over again while they develop more content. Again, conceptually on paper, this isn't really a problem. However, in practice, it's kind of a pain. The hold on you as a player becomes much more about the sunk cost fallacy of time and or money than it is about the quality of the game bringing people back. It's more about engagement and constant players than anything else, because that's what keeps the heart pumping. And it's understandable, especially from a business perspective, that this would be the case. However, as a consumer myself, it is frustrating to see this, because some of these are legitimately good games, and if they were developed in a regular game development time frame, then I could come back to them without needing to come back daily. Some of these gacha games are so muddled up in the money that can be made off of this model, it turns them a little bit soulless. It's incredibly rare to see gachas that give me that feeling I was talking about of playing a high-quality standard video game, but it still does happen. And I don't really hold an issue with the monetization model itself, but you could argue that them existing on servers is part of that model. But my problem with them existing on servers, again, is that they will eventually die. No matter how good the end product is, there's a good chance that the game will be taken offline at some point, which means that we can continue singing the praises of the stories or characters or whatever the game had to offer, but at the end of the day, the game will eventually be lost to the passage of time, only able to be viewed through gameplay videos and through trailers. No one new will be able to experience it for themselves, and that is honestly a shame.
I've had enough of your high and mighty rationalization.
And honestly, I'm not gonna stop playing gachas because of this. I've only really played 1 or 2 consistently. I've tried a lot of them, and a lot really just don't stick the landing. But that said, I don't really hold any ill will towards these games. I think the truth of the matter is that there will always be people who enjoy them. It may not be me, and it may not be you, but someone out there enjoys some of these games. And I hope that one day these games and the companies making them will make them exist offline as well, so that people who do enjoy them and want to spread their appreciation of them even after there's no more content being added can do so. And I know it's not so clear-cut. There are a lot of reasons these games don't get official offline versions either, during their existence or after they've been taken offline. But I hope one day that these companies will actually do this and create offline versions of these games, at least when end of service happens, so people can keep playing them. I know it's kind of a pipe dream, but as more and more of these gacha games become higher quality, it'd be nice to be able to play those games even after their end of service happens, so people can explore them and learn about them. There's still tons of ways to experience a lot of older games, even if the companies aren't selling them themselves. And I know that some fans manage to put up private servers of these games that get shut down, but it's really a shame that we have to resort to fans doing the work that companies should be doing instead. And it's not like you couldn't make money off of this. I mean, I don't know how expensive it is to create a non-server-based version of a server-based game, but if you could sell it for a price, and I'm sure there'd be people who would at least purchase it. Anyways, my whole point here is that I am, unsurprisingly, against video games being taken offline permanently. There's always someone out there or a group of people out there who enjoyed a game for what it was. And I think it's a shame that companies just let these games get shut down and do nothing with them afterwards. And what do you think of gacha games and their looming inevitable end of service? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, you can leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to the channel for more things JRPG, anime game, and just video game related in general. I wanted to try breaching new topics and going into other things I haven't really been going into. I know this channel's been very focused on Persona, but I also want to talk about other games, especially since I feel like talking about Persona for the past 6 months has been kind of stagnating a little bit. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video a bit more entertaining, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.